Well, it's good morning for me. There's a mess on my bench. So, just as a matter of what's going on, I am working on the Skyline, and it's coming along. I still have some things to do before I finish it. Generally, it's just almost because of the limited time I have, I spend a few minutes modeling, and then I usually just glue one or two parts together, just leave it and walk away, and then do that each day until I get, like today, a day off, and then I can spend a little more time in there. So I'm gonna did some things this morning here in the model room, and some rearranging and cleaning up, and we're still working on this one. What I have left to do is just detail the underside, detail paint that some, and let's see. I'm going to put the piece of plastic right here to cover that up. Seamus at See My BMW had a good idea about putting a piece of plastic on there, so I'm going to do that, and I think that would look good, and I think it would actually look a little more realistic than it just being cut off like that, because on the real car going by the illustration here, there is a small piece that goes in there, I guess, where the two, I don't know if that back window rolls down or not. I have no way to know that really, but there is something that goes between those two windows, so it's some kind of edge. It's probably a rubber seal so that water doesn't get in between them when the windows are up. So I'm going to do that. What's left? I need to put some orange in this, and some other minor things here all the way around. Put some decals on it. There's not many decals for this particular kit, so that's not going to be a lot of work. I have been working on, I'm still working on the Fairlane. The body's been painted for weeks, if not a month or so. I have the chassis done. This part here has just been giving me fits, and I built like 6 or 7 of these cars, and for some reason I decided to paint this before I put it together. But I'm here to tell you the best way to do it, that I've done it over the years, is to put these parts together first before you paint them, and then you can get everything all lined up. First, you're gonna make sure it works the way you want, and then paint it, and then put it on there. If you want to, you can do the radiator core, but I prefer to do that separate, because I'm going to paint this all red, and then I'll mask off the radiator, and then paint the radiator, and then everything will be fine, and it'll all line up. But this one here, it just kept coming apart. I mean, as soon as I would go to try to get everything all lined up, one of the pieces would pop off. And it's pretty sturdy now, but that's because I used super glue. And even then, look, it's already popping apart again. So technically, if I stripped it, that would be the best way to go if this was the only kit I have. But I have another box with a bunch of Fairlane parts in it, so I did have another engine bay in there, and it's just easier to use a new one, and that's just the best way to go for me. I'm lazy. And I had the part, so that's where that project is at right now, and I've been working on this for over a month. This was the engine I originally planned on putting in there, which is a 427, and give me a second here while I try to find the part I'm looking for, which is not to be found. But I had oh, here it is. I had this 427 parts pack from Revell, and I did use some of the parts on here, but the block and the oil pan came with the Fairlane, but so that everything should fit. So that's not the problem, but the issue after I put it together and primered it is, there's only one belt on this. This is more of a race engine, really, as far as the 427 in the parts pack, because there's no place for actually there's no water pump really to say on here. I mean, the timing cover is on there, but it doesn't really look right for the Ford. I mean, and I couldn't use the stock one because it would stick out too far for this belt assembly to fit. So I used this custom one that they had in there, but there's no, it's a timing cover, but there's no place for the water pump to go. So, and there's no alternator, there's no nothing on it, there's just this belt here. So I thought about it, I'm like, you know, I really don't want to put that in the car because it's not a race car, it's going to be a street driven car. So I'm going to save this for something else. And then I decided to do something that I've been wanting to do with a Fairlane kit for a long time also, is to use a 5.0 302 basically. So I'm going to do that. And so this car will initially, it's going to end up with a 302 in it, which is fine. And it'll be EFI. Here's the intake manifold. I buy these engines off eBay. You can buy the whole 302. You can buy 3D printed ones, but it's generally cheaper just to buy a plastic one if it's available. So it's going to be an EFI 5.0, and that would be pretty cool in there. So I'm going to work with that. The great things about most of these engines is they all come with like some kind of a header, and I can show you this one. Probably this 5.0 probably came out of some kind of hot rod or something, and that's why it's more of a header. But Ford also made what they would call a shorty header, which is a stock header. Let me see if I have one here. That's a hot rod. That 302 is a hot rod. Let's see. Here's one. So you can see this header here. I think somebody needs to 3D print these headers because they'll work on any 302. I mean, they're made for 5.0, and a 5.0 block is different than the old-fashioned 289 302. But for general purposes on a model, it's not going to matter. So these are great shorty headers, and these are factory from Ford. And they can really fit into some really nice tight places. So if you're putting a 302 or 289, or even if you bought a model and it came with a 302 or 289 or 260, but not too many models come with that. Same engine. You could, especially if you wanted to put a header on it, but you couldn't get you couldn't get a regular header on there, or you didn't have one. These are really handy because, like I say, they really get into some tight places, and especially on these Fords when you have these giant shock towers here, there's not a lot of room there to get any kind of a header in there, and I'm pretty sure these shorties would work pretty good. I'm going to try to use these first, but I still think that'll fit because these cars normally had a 428, a 390, 427 or something like that, an FE block, which is wider and larger. So the small block Ford, there should be plenty of room for almost any kind of header. And if so, I'll save that for something else. But this is another EFI. I don't know what model the kit this is out of. It has a stock air cleaner, and it has a the intake is not plated, so that's a good thing about all this, is it doesn't have any chrome plating on it that you have to strip. And there's another good thing about it, if I can find the part. Here's another pair. Here's another pair of shorty headers. And this one, like I said, I don't know, since I bought this on eBay and I'm just buying the engine, I don't know what model kit it came out of. It also has an Edelbrock 5.0 in EFI intake. So that's pretty cool too. So I'm not sure what I'll use that on. Another EFI engine that you can use is out of the Ford Lightning, not the new one that has the newer 2000 and up type body style, but the older one from like 91 to 96 square body. That one has an EFI in it, but it's a 351 Windsor. So and those trucks had special heads and special intake and all that, but it still had an EFI on it. And but I have not been able to, nobody seems to be parting those out on eBay, so I haven't come across one of those Windsors yet so far. So, or maybe whoever's selling it mistakes it for a 302. I see that all the time. People mistaking one engine for another. Just because you bought a Ford hot rod doesn't mean the V8 in it's a Ford. I mean, sometimes that's a mistake accidentally. That's what I have going on there. I'm still far away working on the Moebius ramp truck. I got most of it smoothed out over here, and then I got to this side and it's like, you know, I really don't like all these lines all over it. I really want it to be smooth. So here I am, I puttied up this side and let it set, and then I'm going to start working on each side of this, and I'm just going to eliminate all those lines and indentations. I want to get it all smooth. I'll probably keep these here, but other than that, you know, I still have to finish this line here, if you can see it. There's a little, you know, there's some there, there's some there. So I really got to get heavy with some rough sandpaper to take those out. And the thing is that out of model building, the one thing that I really don't like doing is body work. I really don't enjoy body work in any way, shape, or form. So I had to be in the right mood to walk over and pick this up and start sanding on it and puttying it. And that's why it's going to take so long for that one to be done. Because I will be happy when it's done. I will like the look because it'll be all smooth and I'll be happy with that. But it's a long road to get there. And I just don't like body work. I know it's something we have to do as modelers, but it's not at the top of my list for sure. Oh, I did make something. Check this out. Kind of ugly, huh? But functional. I don't know if you guys, you know, this is the Fusion Firm. Now this bottle is really tall and thin, and you can see it doesn't have much of a footprint. So whenever I'm using this on my desk, I have almost knocked this over so many times. And what happens is, it has a brush. This is the brush you use, which is on the lid. So you're holding a model with your left hand and you're trying to get this brush in and out. This thing's wiggling all over the place, and I've almost knocked it over, and then I don't even know if this stuff would come up with mineral spirits or something. You know, if you spill this, it'd just be one giant mess. So to avoid that, I decided to make this so that when I'm using it, I'm just going to stick it in here and I don't have to worry about it falling over. It's not that it's real expensive, but I just don't want to have to clean up the mess. So, and this is nothing but a 2x6 that I cut down, and then a smaller, probably 1x6 that I put underneath to hold it. And like I say, it's ugly. I might paint it black or something one day, and it's kind of big, but I don't leave it in there. I just pull this out when I'm going to use the Fusion Firm, and then otherwise the Fusion Firm with the cap on is fine. It won't, even if it falls over. So, and that's what I've been doing. I am working on these models, trying to get them done. I haven't decided on the next project. I have a few contenders. I am not sure. There are so many models that I have that I want to do. I mean, I don't have a whole bunch of them, but there are a lot of projects I want to get to and dive into them and get started on them. But I want to try to get some of these off the bench first. These two at least. I'm not worried about the ramp truck, because that, like I say, that's a little more long term. But I'm almost done with the Skyline, and then after that I may start another project. So I have two, so that while one is drying, the paint or the glue is drying on one, I can work on the other. And this is and then I'll finish the Fairlane. One thing about the Fusion Firm was that I had popped a window. I had put the windows in this car, and I had forgot that there's a chrome trim that goes around the window. And this brush, I practiced on another model body, and this brush does not do trim around windows very well. It's just not a great brush for that. You can see it's not even a fine point brush. Now I could probably use a regular brush. I haven't tried that yet. But you'd probably have, I don't know if you'd have to, I got to try, because I don't know if I can clean the brush with like mineral spirits or something. Otherwise you're going to end up throwing a brush away. And you know, good paintbrushes are not cheap. So that's my thing. I got to think about it, because the last thing I want to do is mess up the paint on this car after I'm almost done. So it's too thin for a Sharpie. I thought about that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may use a panel liner or something, a black panel liner maybe, even though it's supposed to be chrome. And I'll show you here on the box. You can see how big, that wide that trim is around the window. Now to me this looks like it's chrome, and when you look at the side window and this photograph, which is the actual model, it's really, really wide. So yeah, it's my own fault. I got in a hurry, I put the window in there, and I completely forgot to do around the windows. So it is what it is. And I think that's everything that's new, and we're all cut up. So we'll catch you on the next video. Later.